Most people believe peace is something to be found someday. After the promotion, after the relationship heals, after the money arrives, after life finally becomes fair. But look closely. The human mind is always moving the finish line. A poor man says, I will be peaceful when I become rich. A rich man says, I will be peaceful when I stop losing money. A lonely person wants love. A married person wants freedom. The mind is never satisfied because it survives through dissatisfaction. It feeds on the idea that something is missing. And so, most people spend their entire lives chasing peace without realizing something terrifying. The chase itself is what destroys peace. Imagine standing in the middle of a lake during a storm. The harder you fight the water, the more exhausted you become. Eventually, you drown, not because the lake hated you, but because you never stopped struggling against it. This is how most people live. They resist reality every second of the day. Traffic should move faster. People should behave better. Life should be easier. The past should not have happened. But reality does not negotiate with human preference. The rain does not stop because you dislike getting wet. The sun does not rise according to your mood. And people do not magically transform to match the version inside your imagination. Peace begins the moment you stop arguing with reality. This does not mean becoming weak. It means seeing clearly. A tree survives storms because it bends. A rigid branch snaps. Most suffering comes from mental rigidity. We create identities and cling to them desperately. I must always be respected. I must never fail. I must be understood. I must be loved by everyone. And when life violates these expectations, the ego panics. But ask yourself honestly, who is this I you are protecting so fiercely? The version of you that becomes offended so easily is not your true self. It is a psychological costume built from memories, opinions, labels, and fear. Someone criticizes your intelligence. Immediately, the mind reacts. Why? Because the ego treats words like physical attacks. But words are only sounds, air vibrations, tiny noises passing through space. Yet entire lives are ruined because people worship opinions. One stranger online can destroy someone's entire day. One insult can echo in a mind for years. This is not power. This is psychological slavery. A peaceful person is not someone who controls the world. A peaceful person is someone who no longer allows the world to control their inner state. There is a reason wise people throughout history valued silence. Silence reveals something uncomfortable. Most human suffering is self-created noise. Sit alone in a quiet room for 10 minutes without touching your phone. Watch what happens. The mind starts replaying old arguments, imaginary conversations, future fears, embarrassing memories. The body may be sitting still, but internally there is war. Most people are not exhausted from life. They are exhausted from their own minds. The mind constantly pulls you into two dangerous places: regret about the past, anxiety about the future. Meanwhile, life itself only exists here, now. Notice something carefully. When you are fully present, watching a sunset, laughing deeply, listening to rain, problems temporarily disappear. Not because your life changed, but because your mind stopped resisting the present moment. Peace is not found in controlling life. Peace is found in finally experiencing it without constant mental interference. But modern life trains people to remain mentally restless. Notifications, comparison, endless opinions, constant stimulation. People fear silence because silence exposes unresolved pain, so they stay distracted. Music in the ears, phone in the hand, television in the background, thoughts constantly racing, anything to avoid meeting themselves. But the person who cannot sit peacefully alone will never truly feel peaceful anywhere else, because wherever you go, your mind goes with you. Another reason most people never find peace is because they confuse pleasure with peace. Pleasure is temporary excitement. Peace is deep stability. Pleasure depends on conditions. Peace does not. Pleasure says, I feel good because life is giving me what I want. Peace says, even if life changes, I remain centered. One is fragile, the other is freedom. Look at the ocean. On the surface, there are violent waves, but deep below, the water remains still. Most people live only on the surface of themselves. Every opinion shakes them. Every inconvenience disturbs them. Every rejection destroys them. They never go deep enough to discover the calm already within. And here is the greatest tragedy. Many people postpone life itself. They say, one day I will relax. One day I will enjoy life. One day I will slow down. But someday quietly becomes never. Life slips through their fingers while they remain mentally absent. Peace is available now, not in the future, not after perfection, not after everyone approves of you, not after every problem disappears, because problems never fully disappear. The world will always contain noise, conflict, uncertainty, loss. The goal is not to create a perfect world. The goal is to create an inner world that is not destroyed by external chaos. This is why awareness matters. The moment you observe your thoughts instead of blindly obeying them, something changes. You realize you are not every thought you think. Anger appears, but you are the one noticing the anger. Fear appears, but you are the one observing the fear. Thoughts are clouds. Awareness is the sky. The sky is never harmed by the storm passing through it. Real peace begins when you stop identifying with every mental movement. So how do you begin? Slow down. Breathe before reacting. Spend time alone without distraction. Stop seeking validation from people equally confused about life. Accept that not everyone will understand you. Accept that uncertainty is part of existence. Accept that life is temporary. Ironically, when you stop demanding permanence from life, life becomes peaceful. One day, your body will disappear. Your possessions will belong to someone else. Even your name may eventually be forgotten. And suddenly, many of the things you worry about now seem absurd. Peace comes from remembering what truly matters. Presence, awareness, connection, inner freedom. The world has enough angry people, enough distracted people, enough people at war with themselves. Become someone different. Become still. Because a calm mind is not weakness, it is power. And perhaps the reason most people never find peace is because they never stop running long enough to realize it was already within them all along.